All right, and welcome back here to the Friday edition of the AM Drive. We are heading into the third segment, second half of the show here, and we are presented by Sling TV. It's very simple. If you've got a cable package with hundreds of channels that you never plan to use, then ditch that expensive cable package and get with the slingers at mikeandaarondrive.com. Click that Sling logo and then get your free trial today, or if you're ready to buy, you can get 30 channel packages for as low as just $35 a month. But the key is you have to go to mikeandaarondrive.com and click that Sling TV logo because it helps out the AM Drive. And for that, we thank you. Start your free trial today with Sling TV, and you can become a slinger just like Mike.
Swinger! Get it? Because baseball's back?
Segway, I like it.
What? New CBA in baseball. Why? Because where's my
I
keys?
gotta.
Where's my keys? Here they are. The baseball lockout is unlocked, and I drive a Kia for those wondering. Listen, shout out baseball and shout out to the Mets for hoping this didn't get done. I'm kidding. I don't know. I saw some chats about that. I didn't know what they were talking about. I don't follow baseball like that. But wow, did this come out of nowhere for you, Aaron? Because it came out of nowhere for me.
To me, it just seemed like I was reading a lot of articles about this because everybody always has their different opinions.
Yes.
It seemed like to me now there was some movement a little bit away from what the owners want. It seemed like the compromises that our pal Mitch Bernstein was telling us generally came to fruition. But a lot of people are out there saying that the players won this battle, and I don't necessarily agree with this. And battle might be the wrong word. I mean, the playoffs, expansion in the playoffs. I think that's good for the owners. That's more money in the owners' pockets and postseason revenue as well. The salary cap or collective bargaining tax, luxury tax, whatever you want to call it, is growing at such a small rate in terms of the way revenue is being brought in for baseball. But 14 million over, I think it's 6 years. To me, didn't seem like that big of a jump.
Yeah, I was wondering.
The owners get a full 162 game schedule, which is actually good for both, but more so for the owners. More games is more money in their pocket versus a variable income versus a fixed income for the players. I think that's good for both sides. Probably better for the owners in that spot. But all in all, the fans win. We get baseball. We get 162 games. We get expanded playoffs, and we'll forget about all this by opening day.
Aaron, I just am looking over this article again on MLB.com. Great article that you sent me, by the way. I love I almost commend baseball for waiting this long because everything they got done is everything everyone's been harping on them for years and years. You got the draft lottery, albeit maybe not that much. You've got the expanded playoffs. You've got the universal DH. You've got a chance to eliminate the shift and have a pitch clock so buzzer beater. You've got all these things, and to me, Aaron, I am stoked. I actually became a bigger baseball fan. And check this out. My favorite part of this whole article, the rule changes. Beginning next year, a committee comprised of 4 active players, 6 members appointed by MLB, and 1 umpire will be tasked with adopting changes to playing rules, such as a pitch clock, yes, base size, which I didn't know was a problem, defensive positioning, which of course is the eliminating the shifts, which they think they're going to agree on, and automatic. Hear me out. My biggest gripe between the pitch clock and an automatic ball strike zone. Are we kidding? Please. I'm so tired of listening to umpires say, oh, it's a ball. Then the next 5 states a strike. Why? There should be a universal strike zone that's the same size for every player, no matter who the idiot behind the plate is. I love this. I could not have been happier for baseball. And again, I don't like the MLB. I like baseball. I don't like the MLB. I am stoked, Aaron.
Okay, I can understand.
Lord.
I can understand the majority of those things. I am not okay with eliminating the shift.
I don't even know why that matters. I get it, but it's not
Look,
a big deal to me.
to me, you're a professional baseball player, and you can't
Yeah.
hit to all fields. So because of your handicap, no
Yep.
disrespect to anybody, I'm just using that.
Oh
The
yeah.
defense has positioned themselves to make you a terrible baseball player because you cannot hit the opposite field.
It's like when they made
Uh,
James Harden go right.
yeah, like that's like eliminating the prevent defense in football.
Yes.
Like you're telling me, oh, you're going to go for a Hail Mary, but I have to line up 5 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Or eliminate
No,
stacking the box. And you're right.
yeah, exactly. I'm playing defense to combat your strength.
Yes.
So no, thank you to the eliminating the shift. The balls and strikes, yeah, it's getting worse and worse nowadays because the technology is getting better. But we've had umpires be pretty terrible for forever. I can get on board with this. Sort of. I can sort of get on board with the elimination of basically the home plate umpire. I'll live. It's fine.
Here's
Uh,
my. I have a before you move on because I do have a question about that. Why is
okay.
that such a problem for baseball? Pure, like not even saying you because you say like you're halfway in between. What is? Why do people care so much? Do they just like hearing the when it's a strikeout? Like, what is the? Is it nostalgia? Why do they not want this to happen?
Well, nobody's calling for a robot to throw pass interference flags.
Well,
They're
those are a
subjective.
lot more subjective than an entire zone that's supposed to exist that doesn't exist
But
in some park.
every umpire, if you've ever played baseball in your life, every umpire
Right.
zone is different. And whether for better or for worse, for sometimes the umpire strike zone is smaller and it favors the batters. Sometimes it's bigger and it favors the pitchers. But you, as the batter or pitcher, and the professional baseball player just had to adjust to those kind of things.
Or
Now,
does the umpire play baseball though?
I mean,
So why should it
currently,
matter?
currently, no. Why? I
Because
mean, why does it matter? The
because
umpires
why
don't.
should it matter was because his zone is different. We're playing a sport. We're not worrying about what umpire says. That's just he's a rule he's a
And
rule
again,
enforcer.
with the introduction of the technology that we can see the
I know.
pitch come in the slowest of motions, we have become so much more critical of that.
Yeah, that's
Again,
true.
it's one of those things that technology is making the game better and worse at the same time. And again,
Like the
I can
NBA. Yeah.
eventually, I can eventually, because guys like Angel Hernandez make problems for us in this aspect. He's so bad as a home plate umpire. I'm okay with it if it eventually gets to that point. That's fine.
Mhm.
We talked about tanking. I think they took a small step in trying to nix that into a 6-team draft lottery. But until every team who misses the playoffs has an equal shot at getting the first round pick, you'll never curtail tanking because I believe the top 3 teams or the worst 3 teams still get the biggest chance. Now you've curtailed it a little bit. That's fine. I'd like to see a salary floor be implemented. It did not get in there. I do want to see teams like Pittsburgh and Tampa and other teams like that. Minnesota is one of them sometimes. I'd like to see them have to. Miami is the worst, actually. Can't believe I didn't think about that first. But I'd like to see them have to spend, I don't know,
A
like
certain
100
amount.
million. 100 million. I mean, we got a 200 and what did we say?
A
232,
oh yeah, I'm
223
thinking. Yeah.
million dollar salary cap, and the
Yes.
other teams don't can get by with spending 40. I'm not okay with that.
I agree with that's a great point.
Another thing,
Um,
my last thing, I will I like about the CBA here is it's not perfect, but it's in the right direction. I'd like to see these players get service time either reduced, maybe I wouldn't say eliminated, but reduced. It's kind of like a restricted free agent. I'd like to see these guys get paid the bigger dollars earlier. And that's where I stand with the players. These 6 years of service time and not being able to get your money until you're 29, 30 years old. Then we're talking about how your contracts are bad deals because it's a 10-year deal and you're not going to live up to the end of that contract unless you're a generational player like Mike Trout who gets his money early. I'd like
right.
to see service time get a little bit shorter. They did add a few measures. Any player who finishes the top 2 of Rookie of the Year voting will get a full year of service time added, and then that's a small step, not a great step, but a small step. I'd like to see that continue to be chipped away at, for lack of a better word.
I was reading something. Oh, I like the fact that the Cy Young winner is gonna, make money. I like seeing that they're rewarding guys
Oh, the
more
bonus
too.
pool. The bonus they've had that. It just gets a little bigger now. Yeah.
I just I as a person who's struggling with being an MLB fan, I have to say this was well done. For the most part, I give it a B plus, and I was expecting like a C minus. I like this.
Well, I think Lou said it best, through his social media and stuff. Is if you're trying to throw a 30-point touchdown pass, it don't exist. You're not going to get it.
Right.
So if you just go for your regular 6 and maybe kick another field goal and get 9 points back, which is what the players ended up really settling for, and you have to applaud the players. Shoot for the moon, land amongst the stars, and they did. They got a little bit of what they wanted. It's not a perfect science. And then when the next CBA comes up, you can try again. Let's hope we don't lose games for that, which we're not here, but we did have the threat of losing games.
Right.